Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 1st of October. So, a brand new month here. And actually, for those people who are watching who are demonstrators, it's a brand new Stampin' Up! Year. So, Stampin' Up! Year runs from the 1st of October to the last day of September every year. And so, everything gets reset on the 1st of October, and we kind of go back to starting point again. So it's exciting, and also, it means we have to climb the mountain again, but that's okay. And I do enjoy very much what I do. So I hope to spend some little bit of time with you here today, about an hour or so, and we're going to create a scrapbook page. This is my monthly scrapbooking spotlight video, and each month I try and tackle a kit. Now, last month we did the Peaceful Days kit, which is, do I have that one here? Yes, I do. Hang on while I grab it. This Peaceful Days one. Okay, this is the one we did last month with all the lovely blues and the glitter and all that kind of stuff. Love, love, love that. And I did create this page with it last month. You might remember, this is the one that we did. All right, so I did, and last month I did stick pretty much exactly to the kit. Okay, I followed the kit instructions. Hello, Roz. Hi, April. Hi from Alabama. Nice to have you here. Hi, Kate. You did say you watched today, so nice to have you with me. Thank you so much. Hello, Joy. Is this a better time for you, Joy? I hope it is. Hi, Leslie. Happy New Year, everyone. You're thinking, what is she saying? It's Happy Stampin' Up! New Year, because it's their first day today. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought that turned out really nice last month. So this month I'm going to do something a little bit different, because I am using a scrapbooking kit again, but I'm not using it in the way that they are prescribing. So I'm going to use it a little bit differently. I'm using it for inspiration and for placement, but then I'm going to go rogue a little bit and go a little bit different. Hello, Marty. Oh, no, we haven't gone on to daylight saving yet. That starts next weekend. So it's just because I'm earlier. When I do a scrapbooking video, I go live at 12, whereas the normal time is 2 p.m. So, Craft Along and Technique Tuesday, things like that, they're all at 2 o'clock. But Scrapbooking Spotlight is always at 12. And part of the reason is that my dear friend Denise, who is also watching, hi Denise, goes live at 2. Are you live at 2 today, Denise? Is that right? And that way I avoid going live at the same time that she's live. We try and all work around each other. Yeah, that's right. Ah, how are you, Leslie? Is it warm out at Broken Hill? Is it warming? Because it's certainly warming up here. So I'm imagining out there it must be very warm. You're going live at 2. All right. So if anyone wants to see some card making today, Denise, if anyone wants to see some lovely creations, head over to Denise's live YouTube video at 2 p.m. All right, let's switch over to the desk and have a look at the kit that I'm being inspired by today. And here we go. This is the Keeping Traditions kit. Okay, so this is a Christmas themed kit, but I'm not using it for Christmas today. I looked at the colors in there and thought, oh, I have some great photos that I think will look really great with this, but they're not Christmas photos. Kate knows what they are. And maybe a couple of you can also guess if you've been following me along. So let's have a look at the kit first. I'm going to pull the whole thing out. On the back of each kit, it tells you the colors that are in the kit. So it does tell us this kit uses Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Pool Party, Real Red, Secret Sea, and White Willow. White Willow is very similar to Basic White. Okay, so yeah, Kate. So I was thinking this could work for some other photos. Some of you, if you follow me on my personal Facebook profile, you'll know that I went to the Waratah farm. And for those of you who live overseas and you don't know what a Waratah is, let me show you. So a Waratah is a beautiful big flower. This is a Waratah. It's also our state emblem here in New South Wales. And I went with my friend Courtney, who also loves all these kinds of things. And she and I and her husband, there's me and Courtney, at the farm. We went to the Waratah farm to help pollinate the Waratahs. Okay, so basically we were playing the role of bees at that event. There's a Waratah again. Look how beautiful they are. They're so vibrant. The red, it just is crazy beautiful. All right. So I thought this kit, because of all the red and green in the kit, would be good to use for this if I can stay away from the Christmas stuff, right? There's me and Courtney again. That photo can probably be cut down and more. This is more of a pink Waratah. They come in slightly different colors. They come in bright red. And this is a pink one. And then they also have, let me show you, they also have these. These are golden ones or white ones. And those are really beautiful. So it's all the same flower, just different varieties, different colors of the same flower. Yeah, that's right, Marty. I did. That's exactly right. So I've always loved Waratahs. I have photos of my grandmother, and she passed away when I was 11 years old. So we're talking a really long time. Um, they had Waratahs out the back of the out the back of the property that where my dad grew up, and they used to have them at over their back fence kind of thing. So because they lived right banking onto National Park, and so they had a lot of them around, and Waratahs need a very sandy, coarse soil. They only grow in very specific areas. They don't grow everywhere. So there's a couple of areas here on the coast that you can go to see them. Obviously, the Waratah farm, but there's a couple of other places. These are just some wildflowers that I came across. We were allowed to pick some wildflowers. We were told to bring buckets and snips, and we collected some wildflowers on the day. That's Courtney and me doing a little bit of propagating with some flannel flowers, which they also had on the farm. For those of you who love flannel flowers, you've never seen a white one before. I know. I'd never seen a white one in real life. I'd seen photos of them, Joy, but never seen the real thing. So you would have enjoyed it, Roz. I know you would have. Okay, so this here, see that there. I don't know if you can see. I've got like red stuff. Oh, it's hard to see in that photo. I've got a couple of other photos, but I've got red stuff all over my fingers, which is the pollen, right? And what you do is you actually put your fingers down like, like this, like the photo, into the Waratah, and you get the pollen all over your fingers. And then you go to not a different flower, a different plant. And so you have to go from one plant to another. Basically with the pollen on your fingers, you go to the next one, do the same thing, and the next one, and so on. And that's how you spread the pollen, because they don't have a lot of bees out there. They do have some native bees, but not enough to properly pollinate the flowers. So they get people in to help do that job. So there you go. Did that explain, Marty, why we have to pollinate them? Because there's not enough bees to do the job. So yeah, really interesting. You can see a little bit of the pollen on my fingers here. And that's us again. Oh, there's another white one. And another, I've got quite a few photos of Waratahs, so I'm going to have to make some decisions. These are pink ones, not red ones, but you can see the buds. Look how beautiful they are. I just think they're the most beautiful things, and I have a bit of an obsession with them. So when they said they were doing tours at the Waratah farm, I'm like, count me in. I'm going. I'm there. And we had it was a beautiful day. It was actually pretty hot. That's nice. Just with they're quite tall. Like a plant like that's probably about 7 foot tall. So I'm looking up at it, but they can grow quite tall. So there you go. It was an amazing place to visit. And the lady that ran the farm, that's their property, they love what they do. They really love these Waratahs, and they kind of treat them like their babies. I make a good bee. Thanks, Nicole. Yep, that's me. Do bee. That reminds me of Romper Room. Do you remember the doobies on Romper Room? Anyone remember that? I'm sorry, I'm talking about an Australian children's television show from years back, so that might lose a few people there. All right, so these are the 6 layouts that this kit makes, right? And so they're double layouts. So this is double layout number 1. So it's got number 1 here, this one. Then we've got number 2 and number 3. Okay. And do you remember me saying I'm not going to be following it exactly today? And the reason why is because I want to use this page for a class tomorrow. So I have to have enough for about 6 people. Okay, 5 or 6 people. So, they had Romper Room in the US too. Did they really? I thought it was I think we had our own local one, because I'm pretty sure that the lady that did it was Australian. So So maybe it was everywhere, just inspired by the US one, probably. Oh, I know. I love them. Yeah, they are great to paint. And in fact, there was one of the party that was with us there on the day was actually doing a watercolor painting of one when we were there, and it was just beautiful, so gorgeous. I have a very long ago memory when I was little. Um, I don't know, maybe I was about 6 or 7 or maybe 8, around that age. I entered a competition. It was a drawing competition where we had, and it was on the theme of Herbie. I used to love Herbie the Love Bug. You know what I'm talking about? The Volkswagen number 53 that everyone's favorite Volkswagen when we were kids. Once again, going way back to the olden days. And they had a competition with the release of one of the movies that you had to do a drawing of Herbie in an Australian, like Herbie in Australia, or like an Australian themed Herbie. And I did a painting of Herbie walking in the bush with wildflowers, and I had waratahs in the foreground. So the waratahs were at the front, and you could see Herbie and his owner walking around in the wildlife. It was quite ambitious, really, for the age that I did. But yeah, I remember. So I've had a long, long, long tradition with waratahs, basically. Hello, hello, Paige. Nice to meet you. Most, oh, there you go. In China, most of the fruit crops have to be hand pollinated as they have no bees there anymore. There is a bee crisis, and it's a bit sad, to be honest. We do still have them, obviously, but there's not nearly as many around as there used to be. And there's a whole movement of save the bees, right? So that's what all that's about. Because if we lose bees, there's no more honey, and if we lose bees, then how are we going to pollinate our flowers and our plants? It's actually it's a big crisis, to be honest. So it was a cool painting. I wish I still had it, but I remember it. And and the big news I didn't tell you was that I won highly commended. So I won a little golden book. I didn't win the grand prize, which I think was, to go to the movie premiere or something like that. But I did win a little golden book. So there you go. I know. I wish that there was something that they could do to make the bees come back. I know, exactly. Well, butterflies also pollinate, right? But yeah, the bees are pretty critical. They really are. All right, so I'm looking at number 3. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, and well, when we go inside, you'll see them more clearly. It starts out, first of all, let's look at the outside. Optional featured techniques, adding accents with ink and Wink Stella glitter brush. Okay, so they've added some Wink Stella in here somewhere, so we're going to find out where, and I'll see if I can adapt that as well. The cutting diagrams, so this is like all the different pieces, how you're going to want to cut them up if you want to make the different layouts. And it tells you what to do. Gather all your materials, check the cut orientation below each cutting guide image. Will show you how to cut the paper, keeping the patterns on your project pieces facing the right direction, which is actually really important. So, for example, if you're using stripes like they are on here, you want the stripes to be going a particular direction. And that's why these cutting guides are really important. Light grey pieces on the cutting guide are project pieces. White pieces are the leftovers. So you actually always have a lot of leftovers out of a kit like this. So bear that in mind. You'll have leftovers to make other pages or other cards. If you want to make other paper projects, you can. As you cut the paper, label and sort the pieces as indicated in the cutting guide, creating a stack for each project. Unless otherwise noted, use stamp and seal to adhere the pieces. Okay, so here on this piece here, I can see we have 3A and 3F. Now that would mean that this is for layout number 3, which is what I want, okay, because that's what I'm going to be working with. So I'll come back to those. And then there's some here for different bits and pieces. I tend, like I said, even though I do use the cutting guides and I find them really helpful, I tend to do my best work from the pictures of the projects. And because I'm going to be adapting, for example, these, it tells me on the front here that project number 3, which is the one I'm doing, has four photos that are 3x3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there's 2 photos that are 3x4, which is 1 and 2. These 2 here on this page. Now I don't want to use 3x4 photos. I want to use 6x4 photos because I don't want to cut my photos down that much. Over here, I'm probably going to do, haven't decided yet, but I'll see if I can do 3x3s and we'll see how that works. I haven't decided. I could choose if I wanted to, instead of doing 3 pictures down the side, I might decide to have 2 pictures down the side and make them a little bit bigger or something like that. Just looking. Oh, that's a good idea, Roz. That's awesome. Maybe I should do that too. I feel like I want to do something to, to make more bees turn up, because we have a little a group of, and they arrive every year, and towards the end of the year, like about November, December, we have a group of native bees that show up and have decided that their home every November, December is our sliding glass door, and that's where they all congregate. I don't know why. They've been doing it for years. Every year they turn up there just for a few weeks. We might just get a few and then a few more, and then we have a big glut of them, and then they all take off again. I don't know why. It's been their habit the last few years. Isn't that weird? Someone probably knows why, but I don't. All right. So you add photos when there's too much white space. I really like white space. Okay, so that's something that is, I love this idea. Okay, and you might see they've used some of this lined paper. Let's have a look at the paper in here. Now, here's what's different. The paper that's in here is not the same as the paper that's in the Traditions of Christmas DSP. So this is really beautiful, but you might notice in the DSP, it's specialty DSP and it has gold foiling. The paper that's in here is the same, but without the gold foiling. Okay, let me quickly show you. I've got that sitting right here next to me. So, okay, so this is the piece with the gold foiling. Can you see it? It's quite different because that gold is really quite beautiful. Okay, it's essentially the same paper, but this one's got the gold. So if you wanted to if you have this paper, you could certainly use the gold foiling paper instead, okay, of this. And now this is single-sided paper. Double-sided paper. So it has your design on the other side. So this one has the stripy green. They don't hang around very long, Dimity. The first year they were here maybe for 6 weeks or so, but every year they've been staying less long. So they obviously have somewhere they want to go. Or should I say, sorry about this, guys, they have somewhere they need to be. Sorry. We have the Misty Moonlight. And then on the back we have this. So this one's the same as what's in the pack. Except, actually, no, it's not, because once again, you have gold foiling on one side of the Traditions of Christmas paper. And then this one has gold foiling. See, this is the one that's, this is the one that's very similar to that, but this one has gold foil. It's not exactly the same. And in the back of that one, cherry cobbler and dots. I like the dotty paper. I'm very tempted to use that today. And then this one, this is really interesting. It's ready made. Now this is single sided because it's exclusive to this kit. All right. So you would only obviously need to worry about this one side, and it's got like it almost looks like they've drawn those flowers on there. And I guess you could color them in if you wanted to, or do something with them like that. There's 2 sheets of that. Then is there 2 sheets? Yeah, 2 sheets of this one, which is the one that is used on the page here. This is what they've used. And they've used, on the other side, they've used the other. So they've used both pieces. Now, because I'm doing a class tomorrow and I want there to be enough for everyone, I've decided today to use basic white, and I'm going to create my page with basic white rather than use this, because obviously there's not enough for everyone to have. So I'm going to do basic white. I'm going to add some other bits and pieces to make it a little bit more, to make up for the fact that we're losing that lovely lined drawing. Okay, so this is what's in the kit. So that would make those 2 pages. And then, as always, we have some 2-toned cardstock. So we have cherry cobbler, which is darker on one side and lighter on the other. Can you see that? Then we have Cool Party. Once again, the 2 tones, one's dark, one's light. This is the dark side you're seeing first. Old Olive. And we've got a couple of sheets of Secret Sea. Okay, I love the Secret Sea. That's one of my favorite colors at the moment. And then the last color that's in here, this is not 2-tone, but it's White Willow. Also very similar to basic white, like I said before. All right, so then you've got a couple of sheets of that. All right, let's put those back here. And then we have some die cuts. No, these are stickers, not die cuts. These are die cuts. Okay, so these ones just push out and punch out, but and they're really nice, aren't they? So you've got your poinsettias. It is quite Christmas themed, but we can change it to match our projects. You know, I mean, oh, what fun. That would probably still be okay, even if I wasn't doing a Christmas page, that would work. But, you know, the other bits and pieces are pretty much Christmas. All right. But I could use some, like there's a, you know, I like a nice stripy strip, that kind of thing. Put some plants in the garden that are attractive. Yes. And absolutely. We're going to be doing, oh, look, and here are these are the photo placement pieces. That's so you know if you don't have the photos ready to go, you can put these in to stand in for your photos until you're ready to add photos. So you would color just one or two flower corners of that exclusive flower print. Yes, you could. You could do that. That would look nice. So yeah, around here, a lot of Australian natives do very well at attracting bees, like things like Banksia and Grevillea, that kind of stuff. They attract bees. Unfortunately, I am allergic to Grevillea. Not seriously. It doesn't do me any harm, except it gives me a nasty rash and makes me really itchy. So it's not the end of the world if I get touched by a Grevillea plant, but I'm careful of them because it's not very nice. Hey, Linda, nice to see you. All right, so I'm putting all those bits and pieces back in. There's my different colored pieces. And I've got my exclusive pieces. And then these pieces back in. All right, so that takes me back to where I was. And I'm just deciding, and I'm still going to be kind of using the sketch. Sorry, not sketch. Oh my goodness, I'm saying sketch, but you know what I mean, using the layout as my inspiration. But so I'm thinking about doing definitely one, if not two of these. I'm deciding which one should I do first. Might depend on the photos. So if I wanted to use two photos, this indicates that I'd be using portrait photos. So I've got quite a few portraits. I've got some landscape ones, and I think I have more photos than what I want to scrapbook with this. I probably want to do a couple more layouts, to be honest. But see, some of these are so pretty. Let me see, what have I got? See, they're nearly all. This could be landscape or portrait. This one could be cut down to a 4x4. I could probably even cut it down more to 3x3. So let me put down the ones that could be cut down. So that could be cut down. You don't need a big close-up of my hand. That could definitely be cut down. That one, not sure about that one. So I'm just looking to see propagating. I don't think I want to, so I'm going to put some aside that I'm definitely not using for this. That one, no. Some close-ups that could be cut down because I don't need all this bit up the top. I really like this picture of me and Courtney. That may end up on a page, I feel. I hope Courtney doesn't mind me showing all. I don't think she minds me. Courtney's a big scrapbooker, so I don't think she minds me showing a photo online. I probably should have asked her though. Whoops. All right, so that photo as well that one's nice because it's got a waratah and my hand, so that might be a better photo. And then, gosh, I've got so many photos. I need to make some decisions, don't I? Okay. All right, let's put some aside. I think maybe I'll keep the golden ones for their own page and not have them on here. So there you go. I've gotten rid of a few. This one definitely needs to be kept full size, this photo. You know, I could cut it up a little bit, but the width of it takes up, you know, our faces take up the whole width of the photo. So that would definitely need to stay at that size. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, beekeeper. Yeah, my dad used to keep bees when we were kids. Oh, I don't actually remember Dad actually making any honey. I just know he kept bees. And he got stung a couple of times on his face, and he also was allergic. So that wasn't good. I think I'm allergic to bees too. I've only ever been only ever been stung a couple of times in my life when I was a kid, and both times I swelled up quite badly. So I'm assuming that I do probably have an allergy, but I don't want to test that out. All right, let me see. Oh, thank you, Joanne. I love these photos. They just make me happy. So it's coming down to which photos do I like the best. I feel like this one needs to go on a page. This one is, I really like this photo. And then maybe one of the others, like one of the other big Waratahs would look really nice. That one's really nice. So one of these. So I'm putting some aside that I think would look well. And I mean, it's really, choosing photos is the hardest part of making a scrapbook page. It is the hardest part. So I'm deciding whether I want to have these two or whether I'd rather go with like a close-up of a Waratah. That one's going to be cut down. That one's nice. What do we think? Anyone have any thoughts on this? So I'm thinking that one or that one. Maybe that one. I think maybe that one goes better. All right, let me put those two aside for a moment and let's look at the page. So I'm going to start with a piece of white. Now I've got some right here ready to go. This is just a piece of basic white cardstock, 12 by 12. That's going to be my base. All right. So we're nearly half an hour in and I'm just getting started, but it took me a while, right? The big Waratah, you think so too? Yeah, okay. Those are the two I want to do. I just think it's a really nice page. And they're a lot bigger. So these are 3 by 4s, whereas this is, I'm looking at doing 6 by 4s. So I'm going to be doing a lot bigger than what's on here, which means I'm going to change around my elements a little bit. But I'm going to give it the same kind of idea. So I like the idea of this piece here. That is going across. Now, if I go back and look at my cutting guide, it had suggested that this piece be 4 by 9.5. That's going to be, yep, that's right. So 3A, that's what that is. 4 inches by 9.5. Because we're doing scrapbooking, we're talking inches. It just makes more sense when you're dealing with 12 by 12 pages, right? Hey, Kylie, you like the big, everyone seems to like the big flower. They're called Waratahs, Glenda, and they're my favorite flower in the world. I just love them. So I do have a couple of favorite flowers, let's be clear, but these, and then probably behind that would be flannel flowers. They're both Australian natives, and I just think they're the most wonderful things. So these are what I'm looking at probably doing, okay, just like that. And probably see how like they're on an angle here too, so I want to do that as well. So that's a 4 by, what did I just say? 4 inches by 9.5. So let's cut our piece. And I'm not going to do the gold. I'm going to do this piece here. I'm just going to use the one out of the scrapbooking kit, and I'm going to cut it to 4 by 9.5. So here's 4 inches right there on the line. Who has never tried one of these scrapbooking kits? Can I ask in the comments? 9.5 is this way. And you can see that that little piece that I just cut off there in the instructions, it tells you that that is going to be a piece that is a leftover piece. So when you look at, go back to the cutting guide on that first page. All right. So this bit, see how the grey bits are going to be used? The white are offcuts. So those are going to be leftovers, which means you can use them for something else, right? But you can see this is the bit that I just cut off, that little bit. Okay. You love the scrapbooking kits? Yeah, I do too. I just find them so... Now, even though there's poinsettias and other flowers, I still think that this matches quite well, okay? And I really like, and I could have made this a little bit longer given that my photos are a bit bigger. So you can see that they're quite like so. That's going to be... So the other thing they've got behind here is some of this, the blue circly paper. Okay, now I would like to make that a bit bigger than what theirs is, but let me see. So I'm going to do it by my, and I'm actually going to have it so it extends up a bit higher, which is actually what they've done as well. So they've done theirs so it's bigger than the 4. I'm going to make it, I'm thinking maybe 5.5 inches. I can always cut it down if I want to. So let's try that. And we know it's not going to be as long as this. So probably let's try 8.5, which is about an inch shorter. And then I'll see if I want to cut it down again. So this is going to go, so I can either have it like this. So it's going a little bit above and a little bit beyond. I don't want to lose too much of this. So there we go. Yep. Okay. That's a good start. All right. So you bought a couple of kits after watching. Fantastic, Marty, but you haven't got to use them. Oh, yeah. Look, they'll be there when you're ready. Okay. Yep. And as Katrina said, you'll get them done one day. Big hugs. Exactly. All right. I'm liking the start that I'm making with that. Now, I could put mats around this. I'm not going to worry about it today, but that's certainly something you could do. That's always an option, okay, to do a mat behind a photo. And sometimes if I have 2 photos, I like to do a mat behind one and not the other. So, that's totally up to you. So let me look here. Now, they've also put a little a die cut behind here. So let me grab those out. Let me see. Now, also, you could easily make, you could easily punch out a circle. So they've got a die cut behind here. They've put ho, ho, ho on it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do, and they have got a white, maybe I will do a white mat around one of them. That might look really good. I notice I haven't stuck anything down yet because I may do some blending, which is my intention to do some blending. So I'm thinking I don't want to put this down until I am ready to go with that. So I'm thinking maybe this one I'm going to do as it is. And this one, I might cut down a tiny bit and then add a white mat. Okay, I think that would look good against the blue. So I'm actually going to take, I'm going to take 1/4 inch. So I'm going to make it 3 3/4. Okay, and at the top, I'm going to take also a 1/4 inch. I'll go top or bottom. Actually, I might do the bottom because I like that bit of that pop of blue at the top here. All right, so it's a little smaller, but still doesn't take anything away from our photo. And then you could cut a white mat, or you could also go and grab yourself one of the photo places, a 6x4 one, which is this here 4x6 one, and we're going to use that as our mat. Okay, so there we go. We have a mat straight away with that. So let me stick that on, actually to gluing, so that's good. And I could do both of them like this, but I'm thinking I might just do the one. Oh, you got new medication, Marty? That's encouraging. That's good. That's just, it actually highlights this a little bit more, and against the blue, I think that looks really rather nice. So I'm going to pop that in there. On theirs, yeah, they put it right behind the whole photo. Yep. All right. Okay, so I want to do some blending, and I've got to decide what color. I could do was what the other colors that are in this. Remember, I read the colors to you before because we haven't finished adding elements yet. They've got another element down here. Okay, they've got some pool party on here, so we could add some pool party in this area. We could add old olive. There's green in both Courtney's shirt, although it's the wrong green, but there's certainly old olive here in these branches and so forth, and also in the leaves. I'm thinking the pool party might be the go. So, yeah, you guys, It's hard, isn't it? We all have our own challenges, I guess you would say. And I'm, so proud of you guys for just keeping on showing up all the time and keeping on doing all the things. Now, in a second, before I do this, I also wanted to draw your attention to the fact that there are kits. The kits all have matching stamp sets. Okay, so this is the one that matches this kit. It's called Keeping Traditions. And as you can see, it is really very Christmas centric. Okay, so there isn't a lot here that I could use for my page. However, I do like the word magic, and I think I can still use that. That's not too Christmas centric, right? Yeah, I think it does too. I think that looks good. Should I do both, or do you think the one is enough? Just so I don't want to cut down our faces anymore, and I don't really want to use too much white that's going to cover more of the background. I think the one is fine. I think the one is fine. All right. So I will probably use this word magic. These are fantastic. All of the matching stamp sets, I have a lot more of a scrapbooking vibe than a card making vibe. I love this big Christmas greeting. Isn't that fantastic? Really, really. And you could do celebrate Christmas, Christmas cheer. And we've got other sets that would work with this as well. It's a really nice one. But don't forget to look at the sets that match the scrapbooking kits. So the Peaceful Days one, this was here. You might have seen me using this gorgeous stamp. Love, that's my favorite stamp in the whole thing. And that's a really fun set as well. These are the Good Days. That's a really nice greeting to add, or not a greeting, but a nice words to add to a scrapbook page. Don't you think? And my happy places wherever I'm with you. That's really nice. This one's an older one, the Storybook Life one, which I've used the special moments quite a lot. So even if I don't have, the Hello Spring would be good on, I guess we could have done Hello Spring on this page too. Big smiles for me and Courtney, maybe. I don't know. But the special moments is the one I've been mostly using. And then this one, Weekend Adventure, things to do, places to see, taking the scenic route, love this place, adventure starts here. These are all very scrapbooking themed. So if you love, true, any of those could work. Probably the one I think that would work best would be magic, I think. Oh, that's okay, Sue. No problems at all. All right, you think it's good? Excellent. Okay, now I want to add some blending behind here before I glue this down. And I'm just going to move this down, and I'm going to start in the middle here, and then I'm going to work my way out. So when you start blending, sometimes you just get a bit more of a blob, and it's okay if you hide the blob, put it somewhere it's going to be covered, and then work your way out from there. So that's what I like to do. And I'm just going to keep adding until I'm happy with the amount of color. I'm using Pool Party ink, and I'm using a blending brush, and away I go. I just love, well, everyone knows I love my blending brushes, both cards and scrapbooking. I just think they're absolutely wonderful. You can't go past them. Right. So if I was to move this back up to where I think it's going to end up, so hopefully you get to see, oh, it's still a bit low, but this is going to go here, and we're going to put a few other things on, but we've got this bit of blending here now. That's looking really good. Okay. I would also like to add a little bit more kind of here near the corner of this edge. I usually like embellishments. I like to add odd numbers of blending. I know it's sort of weird thing to say, I know, but so 3 spots where I think the blending looks really good, and maybe a little bit down in this corner here. So I find once we get started with the scrapbook page and actually change our photos, you couldn't bear to hide so much of the red. You could do that, Marilyn. Absolutely could. Definitely. Or I could make the blue a little bit smaller too. I haven't decided for sure that I'm sticking with this size. So, you have a good case. And I agree that, we don't want to cover up too much of the red. Don't forget though, we also have, I'm just putting this roughly where I think it's going to go. So I could make this a little bit shorter to have a little bit more red showing. What do people think? Do you think that's a good idea? Don't forget, we're just playing around at the moment. We've not set anything in stone or in adhesive, as the case may be. So you're saying maybe we cut the red somewhere in the middle so we're not using as much of it, which is actually a really good idea. And then we'll have, a piece left in the middle and just stick these pieces out the side. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then we'll use less, right? Well, I do have a piece left over from earlier. Where did that piece go? This piece here. Maybe I'll cut another piece the same size as that and just stick those two pieces out. So how big is that? I was just following instructions, but you're right. So that's 2.5. Let's do another one that's 2.5. And then will you feel better, Marilyn? Right, so I've got this left over and I can still do other things with that. All right, so let's put, and then we can have a bit more of it showing too. Let's put a little bit out to the side like that. Now, the one thing we will have to be careful of, now that the pieces are separate, is making sure that they're even. All right, so maybe use my glass mat and right there at the, let me see where I am, making sure it's straight. I'm going to have that right there at this line just above. And right there at this side as well. All right. And then if I put this piece here, we can move them out a little bit too. It's a really good idea, Marilyn. Thank you. Like that. What do we think? We see a little bit more of the red, but we haven't wasted. We haven't wasted it either. What do you guys think? Is that better? Where you can save paper, do so. That's a very good motto, Joy. All right. Okay, so then this is going to end up on top of here. I like it. Now, the only thing is, in the instructions, they also had something over here, and I'm wondering whether we need that. So let's have a look. So you see what they did. They kept it a bit shorter and then put a tab there at the end. Okay, I don't think we need that tag. I think I like the red better coming out a bit further. What do you guys think? And then I could, if I wanted to, use some of these, even the poinsettias, even though, okay, let's be honest. Be honest with me. Are these too Christmassy? Is it too Christmassy? Would I be better off using another element instead? I don't mind it, but it is a poinsettia. It's not a waratah. You can't see then that I'm wearing a NASA hat, which is probably good. No tag, you like it better? Okay, good. No tag. All right, so people are liking that idea. Now, we do have a fair bit of white space. Now, in the original, there's also this stuff going on up the top here. I actually don't think I want to have another flower down here. I think with the fact that we've got a big old waratah here, I don't need to have two flowers, and because our photos are bigger. Too Christmassy. Do I have the large Protea stamp set? I don't, Kate. If I did, I would have absolutely used that. Marty feels like it competes with the photos. Stick to what it was. All right. So take that off. Let's see. What else have we got? We've got some little flowers that might still work. Maybe that's better. And then maybe some, let's see. I don't mind that. And then also we have other flowers and other bits and pieces. I could certainly die cut a flower, like a stamp a flower and die cut. I'm actually liking where that's going. I feel like we need some splatter. What do people think? Some splatter would be good. What sets have I got splatter in? Let's have a look and see. Do I have any splatter in this one? No, I don't. I have some cute little dots though. Those are cute. And we have the word magic, remember? So I'm thinking maybe we're going to put that magic word somewhere. So instead of having Christmas up here, obviously, and traditions, there's a piece of like a pool party piece here. And what size are they saying? That's 3E. Okay, so let's go back and look at the cutting guide. And 3E. Okay, so this is the piece for 3E. There it is. It's 4 1/4 by 1 1/2. Okay, and that's the pool party. All right, so let me grab the pool party piece out of here. This is two-tone paper. And we can decide whether we want dark or light. I think light, actually. And let's cut that to the size that it says, which is 4 1/4 by 1 1/2. So I'm just going to cut 1 1/2 off my pool party piece. And go 4 1/4. Okay, so that piece is going to end up there. And then it's got a big Christmas thing that I don't want. Okay, so instead I'm going to use some of our traditional labels, guys. Which are these? And I think the word magic is going to end up on this. Okay, so we've got all these lovely shapes. So I've got this one. That would look really nice. What do you think? What colour should I do that on though? So basically I'm using the photo as my inspiration, but I'm just, like I said, going rogue and doing my own thing. So they've got it on a green piece. Well, that would look nice. We could add some old olive up there because we have old olive going on down here in photos and so forth. What do you guys think? Do we like that? Yes, elements of text. Is that still current? It's Last Chance. Does everyone realize that beautiful set is Last Chance? Let me have a quick look at it. Elements of text. Is it still there? I hope so. I hope so. I think it's gone. No. It's not coming up. Let me put I've still got it sitting on my shelf. It's this one, which I just love. 164774. Let me put the number in. No, it's gone, guys. How sad is that? And it had these lovely, lovely splattery stamps. I'm sorry, Denise, it's gone. It is no more. That makes me really sad. Yeah, it's gone. No, it's gone. You love the label? I know. I love the label too. So I could do, I've got a few options here. Maybe if I was to go with the light side of the old olive, which is this side, you can see the difference. And I'm going to cut it so it'll go through my cut and emboss machine. So which side? That's the light side. And I'm going to cut this shape out of that. Okay. So I know, sad. I know it's been one of my favorite sets we've had in a really long time. I used it to death and it has in fact sold out. So this is the thing, guys. Stamp sets and other bits and pieces, once they go onto the Last Chance list, they're only available until they're all gone. So that's why it's called Last Chance. So please, if you see something, and very often they're marked down as well. So if you see something you love and it's Last Chance, make sure you get it before it goes, because otherwise you'll be sad. Now, I'm wondering, I mean, this would look really nice embossed in white on here, but I'm not doing that because I won't be doing embossing with my class. So I'm thinking that that's a really nice label, isn't it? It's beautiful. Where did I put the dies? Give me a second. Here they are. So I'm going to do my magic stamp on those. And I'm deciding whether I want to, because the color in here, this is Secret Sea, and I'm thinking maybe a color up there in Secret Sea. Then we've got, and see, Courtney's got a navy hat, and yeah, it works really well, actually. So I'm going to put the word magic on here with Secret Sea. It'll certainly show up nicely. So Secret Sea, here we go. And let me grab my Keeping Traditions stamp set. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Joy. Yeah, it's once they're on last chance, you don't know how long we have, but sometimes, especially if it's a really popular one like that one, it can go quite quickly. So yeah, it's sad. We do have a whole bunch of online exclusives that came out this morning. Those are all in the online store. If you're a demonstrator, the pre-order is open now. So that's exciting. There are some fantastic new things coming, very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I'm just going to make sure I get a good inking, and let me get this as straight as I can. How nice is that? Don't you think that's nice? All right. Well, I think, I'm just making sure I haven't got any ink on my fingers. I think I'm ready to stick this on. All right. So, and I'm deciding, oh, I just had a little idea. I wonder if this would work. We still need to do splatter. There is splatter in the Weekend Adventure set. And there's also splatter. Let me see that we've got a few that have got some nice splatter. The Perfectly Pairs have got a little bit of splatter, but I think it is very small splatter, and I'm hoping for bigger splatter. So let's have a bit of a look and see. The beautiful butterflies have got some. The Elements of Text had the best splatter that I've seen for a while, but that's okay. What about branching out? That's got these little guys. That's quite nice. We could use that. All right, but I have an idea, and I don't know what do you think of this? Let me know what you think. You know this stamp that I love? What if I had that kind of behind here? And I'm wondering how big it is, if it's going to pop out either side. Let me see. Oh, it might not work. It might though. No, I think I would have liked it better. Oh, actually, I do have an idea. Okay, let me put some dimensionals behind here. And I'm going to put them in the bottom half so it sits nicely in the middle of this. I want to make sure it's straight. And that's about right. That looks rather nice. And then once I go to put these down, I can be a bit creative with this, put it on a block. And I'm wondering what color to do. Maybe the Secret Sea again, because that's really rather nice. And where did I just put that? Oh gosh, I hope I closed it up. Did I? Yeah, I did. I did. Phew. All right. So if this is going to go up, I'm about to commit myself here. If this is going to go up in this corner, like about there, then I want to have this coming out here on this angle, like that. I'm just using the ends of it. And then the other side, let's try and do it so it's pretty close. Like that. So that it looks like that. What do we think? Is that cute? Do we like that? I hope so. All right. So if you have some green here, so I'm going to go some splatter in Old Olive, I believe. And I know it's such a cool stamp. I've been using it for all kinds of things. That's been the Peaceful Days stamp set for anyone who's looking for it. Just the cutest stamp. Really, really like it. So I'm going to add some splatter from Branching Out. I hope this is the right choice. We still haven't stuck these pieces down, but we will. You just have to trust me on that. Old Olive. I think I got that out already, didn't I? Oh gosh, did I get the Old Olive out already? Let me just move. I'm making a big mess, you guys. I can't help it. Oh, there it is, right there in front of me. Seriously. Right there. Right, so I'm going to have some splatter here. And it's lighter because, and I don't want it to be particularly dark splatter. Let me decide which way it should go. A little bit of splatter there. And a little bit. I'm going to kind of do the splatter around where the blending is. And then some more over here. Let's see if that's enough. So you can see I've used the scrapbooking kit, but I've also kind of done my own thing so that I'm going to have plenty of paper for everyone over the next day or so when I'm at my class. And I feel like I want to have a little greeting or something on this piece. They had ho, ho, ho. I might put something else. I like this one. Love this place. That's nice. There's also a cheers and enjoy, relax, better together. But I think love this place might work really well on here. So what do we think? Do we like that idea? Right, so let me stamp. What color? I'm going to use Secret C for the love this place. I'm just going to do it on some white. I have got a scrap of white left over from a card yesterday. So let me, I don't think I've actually ever used the love this place before. So it's probably, it's still in here. It's maybe too big for this. I don't know. It's about right, actually. Let's see. Love this place. Let's stamp it on this strip. So I'm using a couple of my stamp sets, a couple of different ones that will go really nicely with different scrapbooking pages. And I have to say, as I'm collecting some of these, where will my journaling go? I might be putting it on the other page. I might not put it on this one. Good question. I always like to do some journaling. I just haven't decided, given that there are two different designs. Let me just quickly find the instructions again. Here they are. So this one doesn't really look like it has much journaling. You could do journaling. Like I could put a square on, and or sometimes I journal around the sides, like around the edges of the photos. This one, the second one, has more journaling on it. So layout 1, layout 2. So I'll probably do a second layout, and that one's going to be the one that has the journaling. So if I do 2 journaling pages, very often one has, so same with this. See, layout number 1, the journaling's on this one, not on this one. Layout number 2, it's on this one, not that one. And on layout number 3, it's on this one, not that one. So usually if you're doing, you don't need to have journaling on both if they're both the same. Does that answer? On the red piece would work nicely. Yeah, it would. So I was thinking about putting it on here, and I still could, but I could also have it down here somewhere. That would look really nice. So I don't have to decide that yet though. So let me pull these off, and let's get our red pieces down. Okay, so So I hope that you're getting a bit of inspiration today to see how you can use a scrapbooking kit, but not use it exactly the way they say to do it. So I'm just looking to see if I have a ruler here that might help me keep my edges straight. No, I don't think I do, but that's okay. You can use anything. You can use a piece of paper, anything at all to do this. So I'm going to start by putting, so let's try it. It's going to be about there. Let's put that down. And then what I'm going to do, because I can't find my ruler, because silly me put it somewhere, let's just use a piece of paper. And I'm going to have that go right across here from one side to the other. So making sure that you're straight on whatever grid you're using, whether you use grid paper or a glass mat. And then I'm going to put that right there at that 8 piece on both sides. And so then this one's going to go right there. So I'm going to get some glue on that. But normally you'd use a ruler. It's just I'm not able to find mine because it's normally in my workshop bag and it's not there. I always keep a metal ruler in my workshop bag. If it's a little bit closer to the edge, so you'll see more of it. And there you go. You've got the splatter coming out the bottom there. Then this piece is going to go over and go straight across. Now, like about there. So let's put that on. I think one of the reasons why some people find scrapbooking, well, it's the reason you can find it frustrating, but also the reason that you might find it very satisfying is there's a lot of decisions to make. And if you don't want to have to make decisions, then you might find that frustrating. But at the same time, when you've made all the decisions, it's very satisfying because it's your creation, all right, so I'm going to have that right about there and this right about here. So we can still see our splatter coming out the bottom there. Might move that up a little bit. This piece is going to end up here. I might glue that down now too. So I'm only going to glue down the pool party piece. And then once you've made the decisions, it comes together quickly. You like the layout? Good, Judy. Thank you. And I'm going to put this in the middle so that the stamp is coming out both sides, here and here. Looks like I've given it ears, doesn't it? But anyway, I kind of like it. Right. And I could put that stamp somewhere else if I want to. You know, we could do some journaling, you know, a little bit of journaling somewhere. Like I said, I like to go around shapes, either the paper shapes or around the photos themselves. And I probably will do that next. All right, let's put this one down first. Hi, Stella. Nice to see you again. Yes, you could use flip flaps. Oh my gosh, I always forget to use flip flaps. Thank you for the reminder. Because then I could add more photos. That'd be great. And then this one's going to go over that, like so. Oop. Like so. It's coming together nicely now. Now this piece, I still want to have that here. Do I want it in front of the white or behind? I think maybe in front looks better. Yeah, I think it does. All right, so let me put some glue behind that. So it's in the center of the photo, like that. Okay, getting lots of pictures on with the flip flaps. I know, I love them too, and I keep forgetting to the pictures. Oh, you missed all the chatter early, Judy. This is at the Waratah farm 2 weekends ago. These are my favorite flowers, and I went to the farm and we helped pollinate them. So now we could put this on here, but I feel it would look better down here, actually. So I'm gonna cut that. I think that little label down the bottom there looks better. Do you agree? And you could have it going over onto the photos if you wanted to. In fact, I think I do like that. So I'm actually going to put a couple of dimensionals behind that. If you use dimensionals on a scrapbook page, don't worry, it looks fine, but don't forget when you put them in an album, they'll flatten down anyway, and you may not see it as much, but I do like it. Like that. Yes, exactly. This is our state flower. That's correct. Yeah. Now that I've put this here, I was thinking about journaling around this shape, but because I put that there, I won't. But I may end up putting some. I want to put the date. Let me see if I got a journaling pen handy. I do. I want to put the date. I'm just deciding if I still feel like I want to have an element here. Now we had that little flower earlier. Do we want to put that back up there? It does look good. I think that flower looks rather nice. So let's add that. Just one on a dimensional, like so. It just helps to balance it a little bit. Okay, and down here, I'm going to have, now don't worry if you mess up your journaling when you're going straight on like this. It's not the end of the world. You can always put a strip of paper over it and cover it. And I'm going to have September 2025. There we go. What am I missing? Is there anything on here that I should add? Let's see. Let's look at our original again and see if there's anything that we would like to add to this. Do we think? I mean, they did use a little bit of the stripy paper up the top there. And I wonder if that would look good, or do we think it's enough? Just looking to see if I have a little bit of stripiness going on. Might look good. I didn't use any of the stickers, did I? Ooh, let's see. Let's have a look at the stickers and see if any of them we would like to add something. Also, there's all these lovely borders and banners and things as well, which we didn't use. Oh, you know what? I could add a second flower if I wanted to, like have a second one up there. No, it doesn't need it. Nope, not doing that. Let's see where the stickers are. Give me a second and I will find them. They're here somewhere because there we go. I mean, I like this bit of secret. Oh, you know what? That would look good. I'm going to add a little bit of, how long should it be? Let me cut this. I can always cut it shorter if I need to. I'm just thinking this might look good. Just popped up under here. Just want to make sure before I push it down, that I've got it centered. There we go. Well, yeah, I like that. That's better. Do we think we're missing anything here? Or do you think we're good? Do you think it's come together okay? Yeah, I agree. It just helps to color, to add more of the, like it balances it better because we've got the secret C in the stripey, in the stamp, and also in this paper here at the back. The red obviously is echoed throughout the whole place. And then the pool party adds a nice, I mean, pool party always goes fantastic with nearly everything. So yeah, I felt like it needed something, but now I've added that little sticky strip, I feel, and that's just from the, all I did was cut that off. This, you know, you've got a whole bunch there that you can use. So there we go. I'm going to call that a finished page. What do we think? Do you like it? Yeah, I think it works. So there we go. Today we used the Keeping Tradition scrapbooking kit, but we went a little bit rogue and did our own thing. And I'm actually really, really happy with the result. I think it looks nice. All right. So how did we do? Everyone happy with that today? I'm hoping the girls tomorrow will like the page because we're going to be basically doing this page tomorrow. We usually get to do 2 layouts with the kits, and I'm using the Peaceful Days kits with that group. And then we'll also do this page, and we'll see if we have time. We might do a second page with that as well. So I'm glad you liked it. That's quite all right, Marty. I hope it was helpful. I do have a couple of things. I had the advent calendar, the 12 days of crafting calendar kit arrived this morning. And I'm hoping to show you a little bit of that on Friday night. But I'd love to know how people are feeling. I know a few people have done videos with this now. I don't really want to show all the windows or all the doors and what's behind them because that spoils the surprise for the people who want to see the surprise. So it's been an interesting, a bit of a tricky marketing challenge because obviously some people need to see what's in it to be able to decide whether or not they want to buy it. So on the other hand, other people don't want to see it because they want the surprise. So it's been very interesting. I'm thinking about doing something on my VIP page. For those of you who are in Australia and would like to be part of that, I'll put the banner up so you can see where on Facebook you search. Let me see. Here it is, this one. All right, so it's Linda Dolke's private stamp and VIP group. If you go there, you can request to join. You just need to let me know that you're in Australia because it's for Australian customers only, okay? Or Australian demonstrators if you're a demonstrator. But you do need to be in Australia. And then, of course, if you've seen anything today that you think you'd like to purchase, oh, that's my email address. There you go. There's my blog, lookwhatimade.com.au. If you head there, it has a shop now button. Also, you can sign up for the newsletter there as well, which means you're always kept in touch with what's happening, what's coming up. If I'm running any promotions or special classes or anything, everything's there in the newsletter. This weekend, Saturday, we have World Card Making Day. I hope you've registered because everyone who has registered will get a small gift at the end of the session. It's only an hour from 2 to 3 on Saturday afternoon here in Australia. So I'm excited about it because I love it when Stampin' Up put these kind of things on. I've got a couple of people coming to my house to share with me, and so that's really fun. Looking forward to that. So a nice afternoon tea and some crafting time with some friends. All right. The other thing I didn't talk about today, but I'm going to mention it very quickly before I say goodbye, is that we currently have a joining special. Okay. And the joining special we have is possibly one of the best ones we've ever, it is one of the best ones we've ever had. And if you have ever thought about being a demonstrator or you would like to get a discount on your products, then something definitely you should look into. For only $60, you'll get $235 worth of products for free. Or you can take the higher option, which is $169, and that gets you $344 worth of product. It's fantastic no matter how you look at it. You get so many perks and benefits as being a demonstrator. And yes, you can put the new pre-order items in your kit if you wish. So those are available to those of you who are looking at signing up. All right. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Reach out. Happy to help you and answer any questions that you might have. I hope you enjoyed our scrapbooking today. Just quickly let me go over and look at comments again. You looked at the pre-order. Ah, yes, I am, Marilyn. Indeed, I am very pleased with what's on offer. I've already put my order in this morning because we have a team retreat coming up at the end of the month, a live, an online retreat, and I need to order product. So we've got lots to play with because I'll be using new products for the make and takes for that retreat. So you could let people know approximately what's in the calendar. Yes, well, I have seen what's in the calendar. I do know what's in it because I've watched a couple of other videos. But yes, Vellum is back. Vellum is back. All right, Stella, lovely to see you, and we'll see you next time too. If anyone has any questions, please just reach out. You know I'm here and very happy to help you. Have a fantastic day, and I will hopefully see some of you on Friday night for, what is that? Yeah, Friday Night Live. Sketchy fun. That's it. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.